This is an oral presentation on improving employee information systems. As the paper covers the topic in more detail and with more examples, this presentation will only cover a portion of the research paper. Much of the impetus for me to write on this particular topic stems from most of my involvement in the business world, working with outdated, inefficient, non-intuitive, and labor-intensive systems. As an end user, or employee user of information systems, I found that some systems were designed poorly, most oftentimes to benefit the developer by creating functionality that the system needed, while overlooking the user-centric design. Now we are seeing businesses are focused on user-centric design. Since this type of design increases its appeal to customers, this presentation provides a methodical approach which businesses can use to determine if and when they should improve employee information systems. In the presentation, I will review some examples of information systems with which employees may interact. These examples have a great impact on employees, and therefore having an understanding of these systems will help you as the audience understand some of the factors that go into information systems. I will also cover reasons to improve employee information systems. Even though businesses may not be able to protect or gain additional revenue from implementing enhancements for internal systems, there are still benefits to the company. Third, we will look at a methodical approach to decide when to improve an information system. In this case, we will use a cost-benefit ratio. Finally, we will apply this approach to an example. So let's take a look at some examples of systems with which employees may interact. One example is the Customer Relationship Management System, or CRM. It can be defined as a system which enables organizations to contact customers, collect, store, and analyze customer data to provide a comprehensive view of customers. Salesforce is probably one of the largest and well-known systems out there. Online user innovation communities are somewhat similar to blogging websites, where users can provide input to companies on what they would like to see improved or added to their systems. And employee communications, although not necessarily a system in itself, definitely has a role as a beneficiary in information systems. In a study where Web 2.0 technology was evaluated, it was found that Twitter was far more efficient in getting information out compared to other methods of communication, such as a static website or a printed newsletter. Keep in mind that each of these systems have some purpose for the employee to do their work. If these systems were cumbersome and clumsy to use, the employee will have a great deal of lost momentum in trying to do the daily tasks required. So now that we have some ideas of what employee systems can include, let's take a look at reasons why a company should improve those information systems. As we take a look at this slide, you can see there are numerous benefits which improve not only the information system itself, but benefits which increase the value of the employee. Learning, productivity, accuracy, quality of service, employee satisfaction, and individual performance all can improve. Let's take an example of one of these examples, accuracy. If accuracy is improved, it means that the chance of doing rework is reduced. Rework costs time and money and make a company less efficient. Looking at other reduced costs, support, training costs, and maintenance costs are all possible areas where costs are reduced. So now that the case is made for companies to improve employee information systems, what approach should be taken? How does the company determine what to improve, or how much will it save? Let's go to the next slide to answer this question. One method a company can use to choose whether or not to improve an employee information system is to determine the cost-benefit ratio. Here I have adapted a method from Bevan to find that ratio. The ratio compares the monetary benefits to the cost. If the ratio is greater than 1, then there is some benefit or gain. If the ratio is less than 1, then there may not be any benefit. The company can also use this ratio to prioritize which enhancements with which to proceed by moving forward with those enhancements that return a greater ratio. So let's take a look at these sections. Step 1. Determine a user-centered design method. This means employing a design method to create a user-centered design. For example, are you going to engage in stakeholder meetings, come up with use cases, or baseline the existing system? Step 2. Calculate the duration in days. How long will it take for you to go through the design method, prepare for development, apply what you found, and do the development work, and then report after completing the project? Step 3. Calculate the costs. Estimate how much it will cost to apply the design methods and other costs associated to doing development. Step 4. Apply the methods to the benefits you anticipate will be realized. Recall that examples of those benefits are improved accuracy or increased productivity. Step 5. Estimate the total monetary gain you plan to achieve from each of those benefits realized. Step 6. Compare the benefits to the cost to derive the cost-benefit ratio. So now that we've covered these steps, let's take a look at an example and apply this cost-benefit ratio method to that example. Here is an example I've contemplated from my work experience. A team of 11 client analysts are responsible for configuring a system designed to provide data to their B2B customers who sell auto insurance. The current layout is not intuitive and allows for multiple errors to be entered by the analyst. As a result, there is a separate team dedicated to auditing the configuration each time there is a configuration change. Should the team, invest time in improving the user interface? Let's take a look. In Step 1, the design method, the team determines there should be stakeholder meetings, scenarios drawn, requirements gathered, and of course development of the enhancement. In Step 2, it is determined that it will take approximately 350 hours, which includes all the phases of the software development lifecycle, or you can use an agile method, to complete the enhancement. Step 3 determines the cost of labor at an approximate $50 an hour, which when calculated equals $17,500. Step 4, the team determines that there will be increased accuracy, individual performance, reduced support, and reduced training costs. And in Step 5, the benefit is calculated to be approximately $35,400. Finally, in Step 6, the cost-benefit ratio is calculated to be 1 to 2.02. While businesses look outward to improve their products and services for customers, they should also take an inward look at improving their own employees' information systems. We saw that there are numerous ways in which employees interact with internal systems, and improving these systems has a positive effect to a company's bottom line through reducing costs, employee effectiveness through satisfaction and reduced turnover, productivity and accuracy, and individual performance. One method to determine whether or not an enhancement should be performed is by using a cost-benefit ratio. Thank you for listening.